When they look at Nicki and they say she's like crazy, like
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj.
MAGA Minaj has been blowing up the internet ever since she came out as a full-blown president supporter. No more guessing games, she's officially wearing that red hat with pride. Fans can't believe it, and the backlash has been wild. People are dragging her left and right, calling her out for switching sides and betraying her fan base. If you've been keeping tabs, you already know this shift didn't happen overnight.
You have amazing role models like the J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
Nicki had been dropping little hints for a while, posting cryptic stuff and liking some pretty controversial tweets. Still, nobody thought she'd go all in like this, especially when most of her supporters are from the LGBTQ+ community. But here's where it gets real juicy. Word on the street is Nicki didn't flip sides just because she's chasing clout or going off the deep end. No way. Apparently, there's been some serious drama behind the scenes. Sources claim some powerful folks have allegedly been after her for years, threatening her safety. The wild part? She had to ditch her old political ties, denounce the Democrats, and go full MAGA in exchange for protection. Sounds unbelievable, right? But the so-called receipts floating around online are making people question everything. The real fire started when Nicki popped up at Turning Point USA's massive America Fest conference in Phoenix, Arizona. Out of nowhere, she hit the stage with Erica Kirk for a live Q&A, and that was her big "I'm MAGA now" moment. Before that, she tried to mask her stance by speaking out about Christian persecution in Nigeria, but when that angle didn't land, she just said forget it and came out full force with her true colors. Now the internet can't stop talking, and the whole situation is exploding with new twists every day. She was on that stage glazing troll like never before. This is the same Nicki who used to drag him back in 2016, calling him all kinds of names. And now she's up there calling him handsome and the best thing that's ever happened to America. People's jaws dropped when they heard it. The transformation is wild, like she flipped her whole personality overnight. But the moment that had everyone gasping was when Nicki literally called J.D. Vance an assassin right in front of Erica Kirk. The whole crowd froze for a second. Like, did she really just say that? She was rambling on about power, corruption, and fake friends in Hollywood. It was giving total chaos energy. Some fans say Nicki didn't sound like herself at all, like something deeper was going on behind that confident smile. Now here's where things take a darker turn. Everyone's been saying Nicki's doing this MAGA push for money or attention, but insiders are whispering something way more intense. Word is, she might be doing this to stay alive. If you followed her journey lately, especially after she started calling out those high-ranking industry execs, you know she's been saying she fears for her life. And the sad part? Nobody's been really taking her seriously. Things got so wild that reports started surfacing claiming Roc Nation was allegedly plotting to put her in a guardianship, basically to take control of her money and silence her for good, almost like they allegedly tried to do to Wendy Williams. It gets even scarier. Earlier this year, cops were called to Nicki's mansion after a neighbor claimed they heard multiple gunshots coming from her property. Fans have been freaking out ever since, wondering if this whole MAGA situation might be her only way to survive in a world that seems to be closing in on her.
we won't be silenced ever again. We will speak up for Christians wherever they are in this world. Amen.
The person who made that 911 call didn't just stir up panic. They actually claimed that Nicki had been shot. Can you believe that? So, of course, the police rushed to her house ready for a crime scene, only to realize it was a full-blown swatting situation. Someone had faked the entire thing. But here's the wildest part. This wasn't even the first time something like this happened. It's been happening again and again, like someone's seriously trying to mess with her life. The first major incident went down back in June 2023 when someone called the cops and made a disgusting false report accusing Nicki and her husband of doing something inappropriate. That's beyond low. After months of police investigating, they claimed they couldn't figure out who was behind it. But Nicki wasn't buying it. She decided to take matters into her own hands. She hired a private investigator. And guess what? Within days, they found out exactly who the caller was. That's when Nicki realized something was really off and that the police might not actually be on her side. She even jumped online and tweeted about it, One tweet read, "To the woman who made those swatting calls to my home, was it worth it? Dumbo?" Then she followed up with another calling out Stephanie Bell by name, saying, "A warrant is in the system. Great detective work. So grateful the DA filed one count for the swatting call and one for the false report to DCFS. To God be the glory." You'd think that would have ended the drama right there, but oh no, it was only the beginning. Not long after, things took another dark turn. There was another alleged attempt on her life, and this time Nicki said it came through her food. She posted a photo of her order from Outback Steakhouse, and on the paper bag, written in big letters, were the words, "We love you, Barb." That might sound sweet at first, but Nicki was creeped out. She questioned how the restaurant staff even knew her order was for her, since her name wasn't supposed to be revealed. She claims someone from her own circle might have leaked her info, and that this delivery could have been tampered with. Nicki tweeted, "Thank God I don't eat the food in this place." Then she added, "Imagine seeing this written on a brown paper bag. Why would a person placing an order say who it's for? Odd." She later admitted she didn't feel safe ordering food anymore because things just didn't add up. She ended her rant by saying she would never be buying food from Outback again. Fans were stunned, and honestly, this whole thing is starting to sound like something straight out of a thriller movie. After the Outback scandal, Nicki started acting way more cautious, and for good reason. Everywhere she went, cameras were flashing, people were whispering, and it felt like the walls were closing in. She started moving in silence, cutting people off left and right, even dropping some of her own longtime team members because she suspected leaks. Fans noticed she wasn't hanging around her usual circle anymore, and her posts started sounding more cryptic, almost like she was trying to warn everyone without saying too much.
I have my own theory on the Nicki Minaj thing, the way she's associating herself with Trump, and why she's rooting for him publicly even though she's getting some backlash all over the internet. And I really think she do agree with him on many things, but I do feel like she's making it publicly because she's probably looking for protection. You know from who? You know who I'm talking about.
Then came the night that had the internet losing its mind. Nicki went live on Instagram looking tired and nervous, saying she felt like she was being followed. She said, "Every time I get in my car, there's this black SUV behind me. Every single time." Her voice cracked a bit, and you could tell she wasn't faking it. People in the comments were flooding the chat with messages like, "Nicki, go somewhere safe," and "Girl, call your lawyer." But Nicki kept talking, saying she's been seeing the same faces at events she never even announced publicly. Creepy, right?
Told was that allegedly Jay-Z and Roc Nation is behind this. Jay-Z and Roc Nation has been after Nicki for a while, especially after she released that song Bigfoot. But even long before then, there had been beef, which I did not realize. So, from what I'm being told, Jay-Z was trying to get her arrested, but of course legally. That's why they waited till she was overseas to do this to her. Roc Nation wanted to make sure that when she got arrested or apprehended for whatever, because you know in the industry they can get you set up with all kinds of charges. All right. It said that they wanted to make sure her husband was not with her because her husband is her protection, which we know that. Roc Nation is looking to bankrupt Nicki.
Then the most shocking part came. She hinted that her phone had been hacked. She said private messages were being leaked to gossip blogs before she even opened them herself. That's when fans started piecing things together, saying this could all be part of some bigger plot to silence her. Some even think she's holding on to receipts about certain industry heavyweights, and that's why she's suddenly being watched. In the days that followed, Nicki started posting screenshots, coded emojis, and Bible verses, making people wonder if she was trying to send hidden messages. She even deleted a few tweets minutes after posting them, almost like someone told her to stop talking. Now, people are divided. Half of them think she's spiraling, and the other half believes she's trapped in something way bigger than anyone realizes. Whatever's going on, one thing's for sure. Nicki Minaj isn't just fighting for her career anymore. She might be fighting for her life. Nicki made it loud and clear after that Outback mess. She's done with that place for good. She posted, "I don't care how long it takes to get at Outback, I will never eat again at Outback." And honestly, after everything she's been through, who can blame her? But her drama didn't stop there. things got way more intense when she jetted off to Amsterdam for the Pink Friday 2 tour. Right after landing, chaos hit. Dutch police showed up at the airport and arrested her, claiming they'd gotten a tip that she was carrying soft substances in her luggage. But here's where it gets suspicious. Word is, the plan was to plant something way worse in her bags so she'd be stuck overseas facing serious charges. Luckily, the only thing they found was a small amount of soft substances, nothing criminal level, so she just paid a couple hundred in fines and was released almost immediately. Still, the whole thing felt too perfectly timed to be random. As soon as she got her phone back, Nicki jumped on X and went off. She tweeted, "They've been trying everything they possibly can to stop this tour. They took my luggage, and when I asked where it is, they said it's on the plane. It couldn't have been, I just pulled up." Then she dropped another bomb. "They're being paid big money to sabotage my tour because too many people are mad it's this successful and they can't eat off me." She even claims someone got caught stealing money from her private jet expenses, got fired, and then turned around to help plant stuff in her bags. Her exact words? "This is how they plant things in your luggage." The internet exploded after that.
This is not something that is like a conspiracy theory. This shit actually happens. But if they're able to separate Nicki and Kenny, that makes Nicki vulnerable because your husband is your power of attorney. Your husband is your signator on all of your accounts in the event anything goes wrong. Michael wasn't married. Britney Spears was married, but of course they control all of that. And so the mere fact that all these narratives are out about Kenny stealing this to buy chains and buy that, that's not what it is. It's like, you know, they got doctors that are giving out these diagnoses saying that she's schizophrenic and bipolar and all of this stuff. And then Kenny's now here. You know, she trusts Kenny. Of course, they've known each other since they were kids. Their families know each other. And so Kenny is just in the way. And so what do? You create narratives to try to separate, because if you separate, then you can divide and conquer. And so that's what it's about. You know, she's going into her latter years and, you know, there's a lot of money on the line and she's worth a lot, but Kenny is in the way. And so, yeah, I mean, look at what they're doing to Wendy Williams. Had Wendy would have still been with Kelvin, they wouldn't have been able to put her under a conservatorship because she has a husband.
Then came the next twist. YouTuber Storm and Roe jumped in with some serious inside tea. According to him, Jay-Z himself was allegedly behind the Amsterdam setup. Storm claimed Roc Nation paid someone inside Nicki's team to leak every move she makes, from her travel schedule to her hotel details. That's supposedly how the Dutch authorities knew what was in her luggage before she even landed. Fans started connecting dots, saying this was just too detailed to be coincidence. And if that wasn't enough, the guardianship rumors popped back up. Blogger Tasha K doubled down, claiming Roc Nation has allegedly been plotting to get Nicki into guardianship too, just like Wendy. Wild, right? She said it all ties back to money and control, just like how other celebs mysteriously get protected once their career starts slipping, or when they refuse to play by the industry's rules. People are freaking out, wondering if Nicki's really uncovering something bigger than anyone imagined. The only thing keeping them from pulling this whole setup off is one man, her husband, Kenneth Petty. Yeah, say what you want about him, but it looks like he's the only barrier standing between Nicki and the industry machine trying to tear her down. People have been twisting the story, spreading all kinds of wild rumors, and Nicki's had enough. She fired back online saying, "Y'all gonna stop twisting my damn words. Nicki Minaj ain't got no schizophrenia." She reminded everyone how the same industry once tried to 5150 Kanye just for being outspoken about his bipolar diagnosis. She said it's a mood disorder, not madness, and then pointed out how they conveniently used that to try and snatch his assets. And honestly, when you look at it, it's a pattern. Nicki even brought up Wendy Williams, how she's now sitting in a luxury medical facility while her lawyers handle all her money. Then she dropped another name, Michael Jackson, gone under suspicious circumstances. And let's not forget Britney Spears, who literally had to flee to Mexico for peace after years of being controlled under that conservatorship.
Nicki's message was loud and clear. This is a systemic industry takedown meant to make me look incapable of managing my own life and money. And let's be real, her husband Kenny is right in the middle of it all. Whether you like him or not, it's clear he's the only obstacle standing in their way. Insiders claim everything got 10 times worse after she tweeted about that controversial COVID vaccine situation. Remember that? Ever since then, Nicki's been on the industry's radar, and the tension hasn't let up one bit. Now, when 50 Cent came out warning Nicki about her safety, fans knew it wasn't some random gossip. Those two go way back, and if anyone knows what's going down behind the curtain, it's him. On top of that, he's reportedly MAGA himself and has a personal vendetta against Roc Nation, just like Nicki does. It's still unclear whether Nicki really made some kind of protection deal or if she's just aligning herself with whoever's offering real security. But one thing's for sure, a lot of people believe this isn't just politics. With all the so-called receipts of her life being threatened and the police doing nothing to protect her, fans are convinced she's making moves just to stay alive. One person online said, "Let's say this is true, how bad must it be if she's literally gambling her legacy forever? That's insane." Another wrote, "They want to do Nicki like Britney. She did the right thing." But what do you think? Did Nicki really betray her fans by going full MAGA, or is she just trying to protect herself from something way darker? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to Start Watch so you don't miss the next wild update in this insane saga.